This is a tricky question that assesses your evaluation and analysis of qualitative data. This is an AO3 question, but it's different than those you have done before. You must consider how useful these figures are at showing changes. So the question says, evaluate the usefulness of figure 3A and figure 3 in showing change in Ancoats. You do not get marks for any of your own knowledge, which includes knowledge on these types of representation. Therefore, if you evaluated the usefulness of photographs and poems in general, you did not get any marks for this. You need to make sure that you do use the figures in your answer as you would use data from graphs and tables in any AO3 question. Many of you have actually picked up quite a few marks by using the resource and making some link to it being useful at showing either the lived experience, or you might have implied it shows some change. To get into level 2, so that's 4 to 6 marks, you must focus on its usefulness in showing change. One way you can do this is to evaluate them individually first. Figure 3A states that it is a dreary place full of smoke and fogs. This is useful in showing the lived experience at this time. However, it doesn't show change. It's just showing us a snapshot in time in 1906 of what life was like. It is useful in showing change in the types of clothes that people are wearing. It mentions their feet are shod with clogs, and it also has a picture of old-fashioned clothes. So these types of clothes are different to what we wear today. So you could use this in your answer. So you can comment that this is useful in showing change. We can also evaluate figure 3B. Again, this is a snapshot in time from 2014, so alone it really isn't useful in showing change. However, when you use figure 3B in conjunction with 3A, it becomes a lot more useful at showing change. Three A mentions smoke and fogs, which is not evident in 3B. So therefore we can say that this is useful in showing change. No evidence of smoke and fog. The buildings look similar to those mentioned and drawn in figure 3A. So we've got a chimney here. It looks like an industrial building. So we've got the same buildings. However, their purpose has changed. As I mentioned before, you can't see any smoke coming from those chimneys. So it suggests that the purpose of these buildings, although the buildings are still the same, the purpose has changed. So therefore, when used with figure 3A, it's useful in showing change. You could write a very brief conclusion saying that 3O alone does show some change to lived experience with the present day, but 3B is useless on its own. They're most useful when they're used together. My top tip for answering any question, but especially ones like these, are to make sure you keep looking back at the question as you're answering it so that you're reminding yourself what you're actually trying to achieve with your answer.